What's up, guys? We're Shitaced Sober, man. Jeff N.
I'm Kyle.
I'm George.
George. Man, I haven't been this excited to do some shit in a long time, man. George, when were you born? How old are you?
I was born 1934. I'm 88. I'll be 89 in a few months.
Okay,
Right.
fucking
Now,
A.
let me just say right now, it is a pleasure to have you sitting right here next to me.
Well, aren't you the kind one?
Yeah,
And
but
I'm-
it's facts.
Well, I enjoy that, and I enjoy the fact that you like old women, too.
That was true. He heard that one time, and he's like, I got him laughing. I was like, that was key.
How many years sober you got, George?
I was 46, will soon be 47.
47 fucking years
Ooh.
sober.
Months.
Man, I'm
47.
34 years old.
You're 34. See, he's been sober. He was sober double digits when you were born. Me too. Me too, man.
Well, that's your problem. I
That's it.
Just live long enough to catch up with me.
Yeah,
That's
right.
all.
Oh, shit, man.
So how's life, man? Is life's good?
Yeah,
Like
George.
Annie Mame said, life's a bowl of cherries, and most sons of bitches die never having eaten any.
I like that.
Yeah, what's it like to be you, George?
Well, going from the world I came from to the world I live in, subliminal bliss, I don't even have to think about it. That's the joy of living.
Right.
Not even having to thinking about what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong. Just go with the flow and love every minute.
I love that. Live life.
Okay, like what age did you learn that shit at? Because I can't even
Well,
imagine
the
being
process now, I tell every man I work with, there's a price to pay, but thank God there's a payoff, I'm big into growing flowers, and each new flower I have to plant a seed for. And then I have to nurture it, and then eventually it breaks ground and then begins to blossom. And then it comes to fruition, and I have the joy of watching it and living in the beauty of it. So when you say the process, it's always the proverbial seed. It's the idea. It's the thought, I can, and eliminating the word, I can't.
Right.
I can't. I
Yeah.
can't do this. So every man that I work with is blessed because I refuse to put myself down first and allow them the privilege of putting themselves down. If you want to call yourself a horse's ass, that's fine. Do it away from me, because that's not how I think of you.
That's tight. What'd you used to do for work, George?
Well, I have... By day, I was the proverbial clean housewife. By night, I was the proverbial whore in the cat house. I was certainly underground by night and did all sorts of lewd, illicit, illegal, immoral, money-making deals.
Did you do this sober?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'll tell you, I had one of my biggest fights, though, was when the first $100 bill crossed my hand and I wanted to steal it, but I knew if I did, I'd be drunk.
Yeah.
So I put it back.
That's good.
I put it back.
Where
Nice.
was it? Where was it in the first place?
At the Wax Museum downtown.
Oh,
It
you
used to
almost-
be.
The old one right there by
old
the
one.
square.
Yes,
Yeah.
Potter's, yes.
Yep.
I was director there for quite a while.
Great place.
Yeah,
Did
well,
you used to
those were
get
the
drunk
days.
and hang out with the wax figures and
Often used to enjoy closing up.
yeah?
Did you ever
Go
When
ahead
you're-
and ask it. I know you're dying to.
No, when you were ever open, did you ever dress like a wax figure and stand there and like let people look at you? Like,
Oh, I do that all the time, even today.
yeah.
What about? I'm gonna ask. Did you look to see if the wax figures
Oh,
had
okay,
dicks?
of course I did. Yes. What the heck
Oh, I
you
wasn't
think?
gonna. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Feel the boobs, feel the ass, feel the crotch. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Did they have dicks? Did the wax figures
No,
have
they
dicks?
didn't, unfortunately.
Oh wow. God damn, dude.
I got mad several times thinking, what a waste of time and money. You
Right.
know, create all this beauty and then have it be partial. And that's like recovery.
Yeah.
There's so much beauty in recovery, but it's partial. It's not full. And the whole beauty of recovery for me is to be full of beauty.
Right.
Okay, George, so how'd you fucking know you had a problem, man? How old were you? Where were you? What was life like at the time? And then if you had to sum it up in like a 2-minute fucking hit, tell me the story.
Coming from an extremely abusive mother, growing up, and at puberty, learning that I was homosexual, being ostracized by society and rejected, and was forced into isolation, learning how to hate in order to survive, and hating prevented further being hurt, and then reaching a point where money had no meaning. I reached that perfect point of death. I wanted to die. I tell it today, I drove to hell in a Cadillac.
How old were you?
I was 41 years old, almost 42.
Wow.
You got some miles on you, man.
Oh, I do.
And it was an actual Cadillac?
Pardon?
It was an actual Cadillac?
Oh, absolutely. A 1976 white Eldorado.
Ooh, that's
with
pretty.
red leather and white leather upholstery.
But you drove the
Absolutely.
fuck out of that thing.
I did.
So I
And then
heard
when I quit stealing, wheeling, and dealing, they had to take it back, unfortunately.
oh, fuck, man. Did you ever sell drugs?
Oh, I did everything.
What drugs did you sell?
Oh, well, in those days, we didn't have the designer drugs or all of the current drugs, and I don't even know the drugs that are available today.
Well, that's good because they're
Yeah,
pretty.
that is good. But in the old days, they were, you know, the usual speed freaks, West Coast turnabout. You could get,
Black Betty.
yeah, you could get them all.
Quaaludes. You ever take Quaaludes?
No, my boy did. I never took Quaalude.
Your boy, your son, or your guy?
A young man, I got his pigeon when he was 23. He's now 60, 65.
Damn,
almost.
so you were a sugar daddy.
You got his
Well-
pigeon. What does that mean?
Pardon?
You got his pigeon?
Well, a pigeon is the old term for sponsee.
Oh, okay. I did
See,
not know that.
When I came in, there was no. I am the last, and I say this because it's true. I am the last personage of every detox facility, every meeting, every halfway house, everything that has anything to do with recovery. I am the last person that was in recovery before they came into existence.
Wow. You made it.
I made it.
Damn.
And I'm still making it.
Yeah, you no shit.
Damn right I am.
Yeah.
Dude, so backstory, George met him at our men's group, you know, super fucking welcoming, says inappropriate shit at meetings, you know what I mean? Talks about like you know, on a group level, just straight up in there telling it like it is.
Yeah.
Telling it.
That's
and
what we need.
fucking courage, dude.
Yeah.
He's walking 86-year-old courage. 88.
88.
Fucking 88-year-old courage, man.
That's
I
special.
know, right?
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, it sounds like almost like a lie. You know, my sponsors, when I came in, it was a husband-wife team that made the 12-step call on me, and she had 19 years at the time, and he had 10 years at the time, and I thought they were both lying.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody could have that kind of time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way to prove it. It's like
no way
prove
to
it.
prove it.
Yeah.
Now, she died last year at 96. We're 65 years in recovery.
Holy shit.
The only sponsors I've ever had. I couldn't go to all these meetings that I hear about today because there were no meetings.
Mm-hmm.
I hear all this crap about 90 meetings in 90 days. There were no 90 meetings to go to, so I never heard 90 meetings in 90 days. I couldn't check into a detox facility to get sober, and I only had that. My detox was a sand dune down by my house. And I cried and screamed and hollered and cussed God and every other damn thing.
I bet I've been to that sand dune.
For weeks. And
100%.
well, you know.
Yeah,
you know.
100%. That was the quarry behind Surf Station right there was a place for me where it was, you know,
Absolutely.
I go there and scream, cry, kick. You know what I mean? I was at peace over there. It was a therapy.
And without realizing it, I was demonstrating belief in disbelief.
Yeah. I like that. You say some deep shit,
Yeah.
George.
Have you ever wrote a book?
Pardon?
Have you ever wrote a book?
I have written many books.
Have you?
Yes.
They're published.
Yes.
Oh,
Where
fuck.
are they at?
Oh, they're anonymous, and I don't talk about them. So
Okay.
that's the end of that conversation.
And
I
now,
got one now coming out.
One other question.
What?
Have you ever owned a first edition big book?
No, I've been seeking.
Me
Yes.
too.
Yeah, that's a
seeking.
big thing.
We're
Yeah.
seeking.
But
Hold on.
that's a $multi-thousand deal.
10
today.
grand.
Yeah. Well, that's pales now. It's much more.
Oh no, I almost bought one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was
Yep.
going to buy one, and I think a first edition big book's a good investment because AA is going to be here in 100 years, and people are going to want it, and there's not that many.
Well, you know, the thing that I like what Nikita Khrushchev said to the world years ago. We'll bury you without firing a shot. And the thing about principles is if they're not protected, you lose them.
Oh my man,
Yes.
that's a big one.
That's a big one.
That's a heavy. We actually went through that when we were juggling with this Shitaced Sober thing. We were like, okay, at what point does anonymity and the principle of it begin to be, we cross the line, right? So like, there's that attraction rather than promotion. So it's
Right.
like showing how our lives are big. I feel like a lot of people in society saw us when we were drinking and driving our red Cadillac and fucking getting naked and just being stupid. You know what I mean? And then we get sober and we don't really check in with those people because we're afraid. Like you said, and so they don't get to see
Or they're afraid.
yeah, they're afraid too. And they don't get to see the growth that happens after. And I feel like that's the attraction. And that's kind of like why a lot of people will tell me, you don't look like you were an addict or an alcoholic. They just look at me and they're like, wow, you don't look like it. But the people that actually saw me go through it were like, now they tell other people that are suffering, like, hey, I saw this guy go through it. I saw the before, I saw the during, and I saw the after, and you can do it too.
Well, another thing is everybody loves a comeback story. And it's kind of like how long you've been in recovery, and you had a plan. God had a plan for you to help another man and help several men. I mean, I'm sure, I don't even know if you can count how many men you've really helped. And you've helped me in my year. And for right now, that's kind of like what I'm seeing as a vision for Shitaced Sober and to continue on this journey is there's somebody out there right now struggling, or there's a family out there that has a son or a daughter or a nephew or their husband or their wife that's struggling. And it's just kind of getting exposure to being like, look, there is another side of this. Like I said, I didn't know anything about this a year ago, and you couldn't tell me shit, and I didn't want to hear it. And it was that gift of desperation where I was like, okay, something needs to change. And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I remind myself, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing constantly. And I go to people who have experience and wisdom to guide me. And then one day I can be there for somebody else.
And that's beautiful in the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
Now, you use the term gift of desperation, the acronym for God. And
I'd chew on that. Gift of desperation.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, well, that's it. If it wasn't for my past life, I damn sure wouldn't enjoy this present one as much as I do.
Yeah.
Right?
And I was desperate. But today, that acronym is simply gift of deliverance. You see,
Ooh.
I have been delivered from.
Yeah. Change that.
I have been delivered
And it's
from.
still the same.
So, delivered from. So, but the beauty of when you talk about the family and you talk about media and you talk about anonymity and all these things, the book simply said, more will be revealed to you and to us. When the book was written in 1939, there was no digital, there was no telephones, cell phones, there were no iPads or computers, there were none of this instant. They talk about going to the hospital and picking the drunk up out of the hospital. Hell, you go to a hospital today and ask to pick up a drunk, you'd have the police take you out. I mean, it'd be set up for every lawsuit in the nation, you know,
Right.
breaking and telling about them. But the joy is the one that comes through the door, i.e., I looked at this man a year ago and I saw what I am so happy to experience today, a conviction, a guy's going to make it.
Yeah.
A guy's going to make it.
He fucking made it to a year, man.
That's not a question of a year. It's a question of making it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beauty of living one day at a time,
Right.
is making it just today.
That's the secret right there. And a lot of people, because you get caught up in this, you know, of like, holy shit, you saying I can't drink or use drugs for the rest of my life? Well, just for today, you don't have to.
Oh, dude,
do it.
I graduated rehab one time, and at my graduation speech, I was like, guys, I'm drinking at my wedding, dude. I don't care what y'all got to say about it.
There you go.
I'm going to one day at a
There
time
you
it
go.
until my wedding day, and then I'm popping a bottle, dude.
There you go.
You know?
Celebrating. And then
Well,
what?
the book says that rebellion, dogs are every move. You know, I mean, I was rebellious as hell before recovery and rebellious as hell after
Yeah,
recovery.
you're still rebellious as
You're
hell.
still
Oh,
rebellious.
yeah.
Yeah.
Today they were talking about surrender on the 7 a.m. Zoom meeting. I don't know what the hell you people are talking about. I've never surrendered one damn time in my life.
You ain't
I
surrendering.
fought like a son of a bitch
Yeah.
as a drunk to survive, to keep from getting my ass killed, and I fought like hell for the right to stay in Alcoholics Anonymous.
It's true.
I came through the door. They didn't want me here. In the 1970s, when I came in, being gay, you were lower than whale shit on the bottom of the ocean. Nobody wanted anything to do with you.
Does whale shit sink or float? I thought it floated.
Well, you know, thank God I learned a lesson about that, and especially AA meetings. Every AA meeting I go to, I lather my body with olive oil,
oh,
just so the shit don't stick on me. Because you're going to get a hell of a lot of it in those rooms, let
Yeah,
me tell
right.
you.
I mean, you seen some shit in those meetings, man. I
that's-
couldn't imagine.
that's one thing like I respect about you is because I do understand like that when you came in, you know, you would share about like having to go to like back alley places to go be you, you know, to go be
Absolutely.
gay and
Absolutely.
like and like today it's like, oh, you know, let him be himself. But like back then, I mean, like, what's the most fucked up story you had, man? I want to hear some messed up stories.
Yeah, bring it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
what's the
Bring
most
it.
fucked up story you have from being drunk?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's hear
You want humorous or you want
Humorous,
nasty? I was a male prostitute, and I was quite good at it, and I was very young and very handsome, and I was much in demand. And if it sounds like I'm bragging, I am about that part of my life.
How'd you advertise?
Absolutely.
How did you advertise?
Word of mouth.
Word
Oh,
of mouth.
Not on like the
Oh,
bathroom
Word of
stall.
your mouth
Always-
or word of.
Both. Both. I was good at. Trust me. I didn't care when, who, or how, as long as the money was there.
How much do you charge for that? Like
In
a
those
nickel back
days-
then?
In those days, I was a $50 man.
Oh, shit.
That
You're high
was-
dollar.
That was big money in those
Damn.
days. Mrs. Santa Claus and I, she was the Justice of the Peace in Jacksonville, and I loved her dearly. But she would take all my boys and girls and automatically give them a $50 fine and send them on their way. So they always went to court with a $50 bill in their hand. But the beauty of
I don't know how to feel about that.
the beauty of what we were talking about, the people, the fathers, the sons, and this is getting back to being serious now.
Oh no, I want to hear the funny story.
Well, the funny story was this little old lady came up, and this little this little old man came up, and his thing was being urinated on. And
The golden shower.
but he wanted to do it in the elevator.
Ooh,
And I
kinky.
said, okay.
Did you charge him
And,
extra?
We'd get up and we'd run down the hall and push the button, and the elevator would open, and he'd TT and I'd TT, and we'd go back to the room. And then that went on, and then
Multiple times.
multiple times.
You drank a lot of water.
Yeah,
Of
you had-
course, you have to.
You have to. You have to be ready.
What do you mean?
You
I
have
mean,
to be
I'm
ready at
good,
the
but I
same
ain't
time.
that damn good. So the next time we went running down there, pushed the elevator button, and there were two little old ladies on it. and he TT'd all over them.
Oh no.
So we ran back to the room, except this time I got my ass dressed and out of there.
You're like, this is the last time.
I knew what was going to happen, and it did happen. And yeah, those are things that when you reflect back on, as I do, I realize the degree of mental, not, I used to say mental illness, but today I understand it as a malaise, a mental stepping off point in order to become.
Got it. Like it was
In
a
order
step
to
that you needed to take.
So I've stopped beating myself up of all these things. The good things, and I was talking to a young man today, I did a hell of a lot of good things as a drunk. I did a hell of a lot of good things with the money I stole.
Yeah.
I took care of old ladies. I gave money to charities. I took care of kids that needed things. I wasn't the ogre that I hear, but I was, I could either be the proverbial angel, I could either be the devil.
You were
or
like the gay Robin Hood.
I was.
The gay Robin Hood.
Oh, and
like
I had
that.
the biggest, finest tutu you've ever seen.
Yeah, dude, you had a bow and arrow and everything.
Bounce all over that place. But then I'd just be jumping on an airplane flying off somewhere.
And so you were in St. Augustine in the 70s. You've been here forever.
I was all over. I was born and raised. I was 2 years old when I moved on the property I live on today.
Oh,
You're
wow.
joking.
Yeah.
Holy
no.
shit.
No. In fact, my parents paid $2,000 for it, and I hate to tell you what the value of it is.
That's a
today.
lot more than 2,000.
Oh, a lot more. In fact, I'm thinking seriously about selling it for the first time.
But where would you go?
A trip around the world.
Oh, my man, that's
There you
great.
go.
How many? Okay,
More ways than one, too, I might add.
so I love traveling, right?
You want to trip around the world?
That's what I'm. So like, this is the thing. I just went on one for my
You
honeymoon.
winked at me.
Okay, so I've been
I
to
like that.
82 countries, George. So like when I first got sober, I was 2 years sober, and this guy, it wasn't like a sponsor, it was like a mentor, and he said, "I want you to come up with one thing that you want to do before you die, so you can have purpose in life, right? Like you can work towards it. I want to know how much it's going to cost, how much it's going to take, and what you're going to do." And it took me like 6 months, and it actually took me like 3 now that I think about it, but I decided I love traveling, right? So I went, I want to go to every country in the world, and I want to find a stranger in each country and help them anonymously start a business because I'm really good at business. So like go to Peru and find a coffee bean farmer that works on someone else's farm, buy him his own piece of land. Go to Bangladesh and find some lady that works at the Nike factory, buy her sewing equipment and a lease for a year so she could start the shit, right? So I've been doing that like, for the last like 10 years of my sobriety, just like small time. But the whole trip's, it's $1.6 million, and it's going to take 8 years. And when you think about it, like at the time I was like, oh my God, maybe I can retire with 1.6 million and do it. But today it's like, people die with that much fucking money and they do nothing.
Yeah.
Losers.
Yeah.
And so you're going to go do it.
Uncle Bill used to say, if you make your needs your wants and your wants your needs, you'll live to be old and happy. And after that, do what the hell ever you want to do with your money.
My man, I can't even process what you just
Yeah,
fucking said.
wants and
George.
needs and needs and wants.
It sounds like a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie.
But the joy of it is simple.
If you make your needs your wants and your wants your needs, you'll live to be old and happy.
Absolutely.
Oh man,
yeah,
I'm
that's-
gonna tell that.
That's like
out.
that's a proverb.
See, I like shit like that better than the Bible, dude. You know what I mean?
But the joy, and I like that word.
I love that. I hear
love
you.
that
I hear
word,
you
joy.
say a lot of times, and it sticks with me anytime. Like I wake up sometimes, I'm like the joy of living. I have a little. It's like a little book, but it's just got a lot of different verses and everything. And on the front of it says the joy of living, and I kept it because of you,
Oh, wow.
because it reminds me of you.
Oh,
And I've had it. I've had it since I moved into my place in St. George on St. George Street. I see this and I think of you, and I'm like, it reminds me of this is life now. This is and I get to experience it, good, bad, it's or just hanging out or working to build this. This is the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. We've done it in a month and a half, and it's just the beginning. And getting to sitting down and talking to people with a lot of time, a lot of people with not much time, but we all share the same, the joy of living.
Well, I'm going to do something that I very seldom ever do, but in this case, I want to do it. And that is, I'm blessed to have a lot of super intelligent, I might add, young men in my life that just bring me true joy daily. And young man, as you people know, a month or so ago, I fell and I hurt myself, and it was very painful. And he asked how I was doing and what he could do for me, and I simply replied, "You are so kind, and I do thank you. Like all of my life's difficulties, God has given delivery from, sometimes without pain, sometimes with pain, this time with. And I rejoice because of accepting is easy when there is no pain. But when the shit hits the fan, it becomes more difficult. Just got my grade. Ace the course. No more pain. The joys continue even in adversity, and knowledge, love, and appreciation of self during these times begets self-respect, dignity, and high self-esteem. All the things that you are growing in and enjoying. You see, belief in. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in my friends that I've never met, but till today I've read their aura and they're beautiful. And the reality is, I can do this because I believe in me. I can find joy in you and receive joy from you because I find joy in me and I receive joy from me. Hell, I look in that damn mirror and I kiss myself, almost get a boner on.
Get your boner on?
Do I still?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, wow. You're 88. Still getting
No
my
boner
God.
pills?
Oh, my God. That thing about with Mike on masturbation, I thought, well, hell, he only does it once a day. I'm good for 3 times a day.
God damn.
And if you want to believe that's fine, I don't care.
I believe you.
You see, I get the joy of it. I
Yeah.
don't care whether you believe it or
Yeah,
not.
no,
I
it don't
start
matter.
lying.
I mean, that makes me happy because I figured I thought I had a timeline. I thought like it was about to run out of, my engine was going to die someday. But now I know I'm going to run it to 88 and
There
we're chill.
you go.
Hell
What is
yeah.
it? What's
No
the
reason
secret?
not to.
What's
Take
the
care of your body, take care of your mind.
Is
and
it
you-
like drink a lot of water too? Like,
I
is there
take
something?
40 vitamin pills a day.
Oh, okay.
Fuck.
And I'm a big proponent of them.
Oh,
I
what's
do
your-
not take any aid. I don't take Viagra or any of that stuff.
Oh, wow.
First of
You're
all,
all natural.
I can't do it. I haven't got the money to buy it. I might try it if I could steal a little money to pay for
Well,
it.
you might
next
have to call a
time-
doctor
Meg-
after.
I buy Viagra from my dad from Mexico. So next time I go to Mexico, George, I'll bring you back some. All right?
Well, I
You know?
might need it by then.
Yeah, I'll bring you back a pack. They're only $1 a piece in Mexico.
Oh, wow, that's a good deal.
You want
That's
to go
a
to
good
Mexico?
No.
Hey, I got a question for you too about being older, right? So like back in the day, you'd go to McDonald's or something like that, and they'd have a cheeseburger. It was like 10 cents or whatever the fuck, And now it's like $2. Do you still think in your head like, oh man, that's not a good deal? Because like you're still thinking about how prices used to be. Like, how do you fucking get through that? That's a big one.
Well, that's a good question because in 1969, I went to work in Jacksonville, Florida for $48 a week. And at a clothing store, a very, very exclusive clothing store, I might add. And I was, I don't know, in my 20s, I think. No, well, yeah, I was in my 20s, 34. Yeah. And Crystal hamburgers was 10 cents a piece. Coca-Cola's was a nickel, and French fries was 7 cents.
Wow.
And I had $1 a day to live on. That was my food allotment. I would go every day to Crystal's, and I would eat 5 Crystals and order French fries, drink a Coca-Cola, and I had 20-some cents left that I could leave as a tip.
Damn. So
Oh, wow.
when you were prostitute and you were eating lots of burgers, dude.
Yeah,
You were
well,
getting burgers.
You know, I had to learn. I was just brand new on the Jacksonville scene, and I had to learn how to become a prostitute.
Okay, so how'd you learn? What was the
Simple.
like?
I
What was
went
the
to bed
first
with
time?
some son of a bitch and stole his money, and then I figured, well, you know, I can do that again.
Yeah,
And
back
then
then.
after all, I learned how to find the people that were doing it. You know, Polaroid came out, and I was there when Polaroid came
Yeah,
out.
we got a
this
camera
one
right there.
here, dude.
And yeah, and they used to have a cartridge, and that's where I would stash all my money. Was in the cartridge.
Oh,
of this
that's slick.
Polaroid, and I put it back in. So you know, I never worried about
That's
it.
fancy.
But I had to learn. I've had to learn how to do everything. I had no mentors. I had nobody that came with all this love, putting their arms around me. You're doing good. Let's go here. Let's do that. I was laughed at many times because of my ignorance. I was, you know, even in the gay world, I really wasn't wanted because I just.
You were peeing on dudes in elevators.
Well,
That's why.
you know, well, that too, you know. They were a little bit afraid there, afraid of what I was going to take from them.
But look, I mean, honestly, I got nothing but love for you, man, because you're just so real. And like today, I think the real currency is truth.
That's the whole essence of the first step.
You know?
I listened to all these people come in with all these, I don't know how to tell them. I said, why don't you just try simple truth? You know, the
Right.
simple reality of my life is unmanageable. I was powerless over alcohol. It wasn't the knowledge of that truth. It was the ability to accept that truth. So truth is acceptance.
That's
Truth is acceptance.
I believe that.
And in that state, I remember the first time I told a bold-faced lie to someone and turned around and walked away, and then turned back around and walked up to him and said, I'm sorry, I just told you a lie.
Sober, right?
Sober.
Yeah, I remember that too. It's a profound moment, right?
Yeah.
It hurts. There's something
Yes.
about it that feels like a
Yes.
knife in your gut.
But the joy was the seed.
What was the lie?
Oh, I can't remember that now. My God.
I don't remember the lie either, but I remember
Old
where I
age-
was.
Old age does have its detriments, and memory lapses are certainly part of it. But anyhow, I don't even think about that. But the joy was the seed was planted, and then I could begin to nurture that seed. And it became easier as I progressed in that reality. A dear friend of mine whose mother just passed away was a psychologist, and we had lunch together, and she told him, she said, well, it sounds like George has created his own reality. And that was the kindest thing that she could have ever said to me or about me, because I have created my own.
We have the freedom to do that.
That's it, freedom. That's the word.
Right.
And that's what when I talk about not surrendering, I refuse to buy into what someone else considers right and wrong.
Right.
That's your choice. That's not mine. Don't superimpose yours on me. Oh, no. I had that all my life before I got here. Other people's bullshit was just that, other people's bullshit. If I'm going to carry any, it's going to be mine and mine alone, nobody else's. But that comes with time. That comes with love. You know, I came from a world of hate. And someone asked me one time, George, when did you realize sanity had returned to you? And I said, it's very simple. The moment I realized I was capable of loving far more than I was capable of hating.
And that's everybody. Loving
That's everybody.
and anything.
Everybody, that's loving, just
Right.
capable of loving more, because I hated everything and everybody. You know, I talk about these incidences in life as things I've done. It wasn't that I wanted to do them. It was that I had no other avenue to live with. It was what I was led into and became a part of. Was it choice? You know, oh, you made that choice. Well, no, that's fine for you. If you're capable of doing all that shit, you're God. I'm not. Because I was drawn into a world because I had no external pulling force to keep me from entering that world. I had no noble goals to follow. I had no iPods to come into. I had no men that could create beauty and then offer it to the world for something good to come out of. Whatever that is for you. Just like your business, you're going to get all kinds of different people for different reasons to do different things. And that's the joy of acceptance of self.
Yeah.
And that's why I love you so much and love you so much.
I love you.
Because it's not the forcing of self, it's the joy of allowing rights. I have my rights and I'll fight you for them. You have your rights and I'm hoping you'll fight me for them if I ever try and take them away from you.
Yeah, I love that. You ever seen people fight in a meeting?
Oh, absolutely.
Fist fight.
Oh, absolutely.
Over
Front
what?
door's
Like bloody?
broken. Oh, yeah.
Over what?
Who knows? Crazy damn things because it's crazy damn people.
Yeah, you're right. I love that. Crazy damn things because it's crazy damn people.
It is.
My man.
Yeah.
Damn.
But
if
the
you- if
joy
you had a-
is now, so when you're talking about recovery, what is recovery? Now, I love the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and the kindest thing you can tell me is that I'm a big book thumper, and I would say thank you for the compliment, because I am. I live by it. It's the only thing I had to recover with. I didn't have a room. I didn't have people that loved me in recovery. I didn't have all this, hey, hoopla that I hear about today, but I was allowed to stay. And the big book taught me that comprehending serenity is one thing, but knowing peace is another. Now, in this debacle that I've been in this past month, I comprehended serenity. Serenity was not having pain. Serenity was jumping up and going into my automobile and doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to do. Oh, I knew all that. But what was the real peace? I was at peace with the condition. I wasn't fighting it. I wasn't wondering, why me, God? Why did I do? Haven't I done enough? In fact, I was thanking God for it because I knew there was a lesson in it to be learned. And in that state, I was very much, and still am, very much at peace. So that's the whole object of recovery for me, is simply being at peace with me.
No matter the state.
No matter the state. Exactly
Right.
right. Exactly right.
And that's a hard pill to swallow for somebody out there still struggling.
I
Well,
think
it is, except for one thing. You have the right to achieve it if you're willing to practice the principles
yeah.
to achieve it.
I mean, I think even normal, just like everyday people, like the world is there's so much shit in our brains today, like bills and responsibilities and tax, all this crap floating in our heads that didn't exist 50 years ago, all these stresses. And so a lot of people are just like chasing, I need to get this, I need, rather than just I am. And like today, like, look, like I look at Earth like a fucking vacation. Like we're on this, in this tropical island with water on it and a lot of beaches. And like, I'm just here to try to enjoy it and vacation. That's at my best. When I'm at my worst, I'm like, dude, I'm going to die broke. I'm going to be homeless. And, you know, I'm a loser and I might as well just fucking go away today. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to lose it all. Right.
Well, the joy with that in time is that what if you did? Would it be so bad?
I mean, honestly, I've
What if
yeah.
you did? Would it be so bad?
Yeah, it wouldn't be that
I
bad.
couldn't enjoy living until I made peace with death.
Yep.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
I think that's why people in recovery too, I look at everything like it's bonus time. It's extra credit. Like life is all of this. I should have been dead already. So why do I risk it all in business, and why do I travel like an addict? You know what I mean? Why do I do all this shit? It's because, it's all bonus.
You know, guys, I got to tell you this. I don't know your time limit, but that's okay. It's none of my business. But 4 years ago, almost 5 now, I was a very financially secure man. And then overnight, I became a pauper.
Wow.
Virtually.
What happened?
Overnight.
Okay.
I literally went hungry for 4 days and nights because I didn't have money to buy food.
Should have taken it from the basket.
I went to a meeting, and a young man looked at me and he said, "George, are you losing weight?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, possibly." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I haven't eaten for 4 days." And he said, "Is there a reason why?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't have any money to buy food." And that was the end of the conversation. He's my dearest friend today, and I love him. And I went back to my home, and I was sitting there, and I saw a shadow on my front porch, and I jumped up, and of course I was naked, as I do when
You grab
I
your
get in
gun?
my house. Always have my gun.
When you're naked, you're just walking around with a gun.
Oh, no, I don't walk around, but it's very accessible. Very quickly accessible. And I opened the door, and I got the tail end of a car, but there was 3 boxes of food that was there, and I knew who it came from.
Oh, that's nice.
And every day for the next 3 months, he and his wife would bring a bag of food to me and leave it on my front porch on my step.
That's amazing.
And I love it. And he's in the program. He's he's just a beautiful person. So the joy is, in this state of living a good life, it's difficult to comprehend the reality of karma. But I tell the men I work with, if you do good, good comes back to you. If you put out shit, expect shit to come back to you.
I sit there waiting for people that I know are putting out shit to get shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I want to watch the show,
Yeah.
the shit show.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
waiting for the shit show.
Yeah, but so the point being, it's so personal, this thing called living, but it all began when I said, and I don't use this word anymore, instead of saying I can't, I say I can. And if you tell me you can't, to me, you're lying. If you tell me you don't want to, then I'll respect you.
Right.
That's your choice. That's your right.
That's honesty.
That's your right.
My man, George.
So, living life on life's terms, that's so many of these trite damn sayings they have in those rooms and all these little phony acronyms. If it sounds good and somebody likes it and they repeat it enough time, it becomes a part of the recovery process. But the truth of the matter is, it's just hollow words, things like one day at a time, truth. Think. The book says God gave us a brain. Use it. Think. All of these things that they want to put down and make ugly. Ego deflation at depth. Oh, hell, when I got here, I needed ego inflation. Mine was already deflated.
Right. That's a good
That's
point.
a really good point.
That's another thing too. When you talk about there's this thing in when people recover like ego deflation, exactly like you said, where I now, after sponsoring enough guys and after going from having nothing, I was waiting outside of Home Depot when I got sober just for day labor, $8 an hour, to now I have a wonderful material life. And I believe it's a gift, right? It's not mine. It wasn't my doing. It's to help others. But I feel like if you don't build a big life worth staying sober for, that you're not going to enjoy sobriety and want to keep it and prize
You're
it.
not going to enjoy anything,
Fuck
regardless sobriety or not. It has nothing to do with
Yeah,
it.
it's
You're going to
falling
just
up.
be a sick son of a bitch.
You're going to be a sick broke son of a bitch,
That's all.
miserable. You know what I mean?
So what's your choice? Being a healthy, broke son of a bitch or a sick one. I want you to be a healthy one.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, like, and also, I mean, dude, I actually feel bad because I'm like, you know, fuck, I wish I would have met George 4 years ago when he was hungry because I could have brought him some groceries, and that's like AA in my fucking brain working. Like, and now I'm empathetic,
is.
and I'm like, I just want to
is.
help. Like, if
It
I tell you
is.
my struggle right now, you're like, damn, I wish I could have been there and helped him when he was there.
Yeah.
That's magic.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Because I was never like that.
That's the mystery of it.
Mhm.
That's the excitement of recovery. That's the joy of living. Not knowing what
Yes.
the next moment is going to hold, but being prepared to experience it.
Anything.
Anything.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about a controversial topic, George, because there's these people
All right.
on the internet that are talking
Okay.
all the time about, you know, try this way instead of AA. It's fucking better, or this will work. What's your opinion on all that shit out there that people are pushing that's like, you know, I ultimately think it's because people just don't want to go to AA because they just, you know, it's tough. It's not easy. What's your opinion on that stuff?
Well, I tell people like that, I would tit-a-tay with you, but I've learned there's absolutely no glory in outstripping an ass. So I don't waste my time.
There's no glory in outstripping an ass. That's nice. I like that. And now I'm tripping because I remember that everyone told me this old gay guy, George, carries a gun around everywhere. And now he's telling me that he's in the house just naked all the time with his gun in arm's reach. And I'm just like, that's a fucking scene, man. You know what I mean? That's a fucking scene.
And the gun is loaded.
And
Too.
you know what's beautiful? With hollow points.
Oh,
on
hollow
mine.
points. Oh, shit.
I learned and tell every man, if you're going to do it, damn it, do it right. Don't do
Right.
it half-ass. You know,
Yeah.
we got enough half-ass recovery. Talking about that, what people say.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to please everybody,
True.
but you can please yourself
Yes.
all the time.
Exactly.
You can do
3
that.
times a day.
That's
sometimes.
a great point, too. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Like that, too.
I feel like, yeah. I mean, even me, I'm on the 30th, God willing, I'll have 13 years sober, right? And
Yeah.
I still find myself wanting to make everybody feel either heard or fucking, you know, happy. And that's that, like, that it becomes toxic. Sometimes it serves, but other times it's just like it doesn't serve you.
This
You know?
goes back to what the question you asked previously about mankind and people learning and husbands hurting and all these things. The reality of life is there is no ignorance concerning deity and recovery. There's no ignorance of it. There's only rejection of it.
Got it.
The man on the street corner that's the drunk has heard about Alcoholics Anonymous, that knows people that's gotten recovery, that's heard about. The man that's not an alcoholic, that's crazy in hell and drinks, knows all about the church and what God is. And so you can't plead ignorance. That's the thing of the past, especially in this digital age that we live in.
I mean, but yeah, I agree with that. But you know, when there's that part in the book where it says, oh, there are certain people that are constitutionally incapable, right? When I first got here, I was like, it'll work for everyone else except me, right? And I feel like there's probably like a young guy, a young woman, old man, old woman looking at us right now that are like, if it can work for him, it can work for me. But they just need to see it. They just need to know
But
it.
what does the book say about the third step, too?
Tell me.
Persistent.
Oh, my man.
Trial, persistent. Napoleon lost one of the greatest battles. He got within 2 feet of the shores, but the fog was so thick he couldn't see the shores, and he turned around.
Oh, no shit.
Oh, he just gave up.
Just gave up.
Yeah.
And that happens in recovery. They can't see the joy
the miracle.
that's there, the miracle. And, of course, that's another one of those
Yeah.
fallacies. Don't leave until the miracle occurs. Oh, goddamn. The miracle occurred the moment I put the booze and drugs down.
That's
the
my
miracle.
saying.
can
I
do
said that the other day. I was like, they say don't leave till the miracle happens. I was like, motherfuckers, the miracle happened the first day I showed up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And if they continue to happen, awesome.
That's the joy. And the recognition. Talking about a year.
Right.
Man, I did it. What a miracle. Damn right it's a miracle.
What was the best year of your sobriety?
The third year.
Why?
Well, my life's partner was dying from pancreatic cancer, and I had no money, and I was hungry, and I did all that I was taught to do without believing in, because I'm a slow learner.
Mm.
It took me a year to be able to accept that my life was unmanageable. It took me another year to really come to believe in this power that could restore me to sanity. And in my third year, I had tried the God route long before I ever became convinced of. And I had no success with it. And I wanted proof that not only had I turned my will and life over, but that God took it. He accepted. I wanted proof of that. And in my third year, all the things, I was walking around the corner from my apartment and I was counting the cracks in the sidewalk, and I heard a voice say, "You look like you just lost your best friend." And I looked up and I said, "Not yet, but it won't be long."
Mm.
You see, I couldn't go in the rooms and talk about my lover dying. I didn't have that freedom to go in and say, and I couldn't denigrate his position. He was very influential in the journalistic world. He was a contender for a Pulitzer Prize.
Wow.
And we were just so immersed with each other. And and I had no reason to do what I was doing. And I told him, and he said, "Well, let's talk about it." And I told him, his name was David. Come to find out, he was the minister of First Baptist Church in Brooksville, Florida. And he said, "George, you're doing something that very few people ever have the occasion to do." And I said, "What the hell am I doing, David?" He said, "George, you're practicing blind faith. When everything around you is dictating giving up. No money, no food, hospital, no gas, nowhere to live, lover dying." He didn't say lover, he said partner dying. And yet you're still doing the same things. You're praying, you're going to meeting, you're reading your material. And greater than that, George, you're bearing it. He said, "This won't mean much to you now, but later down the road you'll see the beauty of it." Well, he was right. It didn't mean much to me at the time. And my lover eventually died. I came back to St. Augustine. I was in my third year, and I still wanted conviction that God took my will and life. And I'm sitting in a meeting, and this is 1979. You see, I know God's gifted me with the ability to remember dates of my program. This young man came running through the door, and he said, "Oh, George, read this and tell me what you think about it." And he handed me this piece of paper, and it was the poem, Footprints in the Sands of Time. And it was published in 1978. And the whole crux of the matter was there were two sets of footprints walking in the sand. And life's partners, life conditions begin to run amok. And finally, there was just one set of footprints. And the young man, the writer said, "God, why did you desert me when I needed you the most? Why did you desert me?" And God simply said, "When you saw that one set of footprints in the sand, it wasn't that I deserted you. It was when I was carrying you."
Mm.
And I cried then as I cry now, because that was the point that beyond a shadow of a doubt, I became convinced that God took my life. And from that moment to this very moment, the whole object of my program of recovery and the 12th step is not to proclaim the power of me, but to proclaim the power that is inside of each and every human being born, if they want to develop it. It's not coming into me, it's coming out of me. And the true power, which is God, is the power that creates my power. It is the dynamo of all dynamos. I'll not change that for you or anybody else. That's my conviction. And it has brought great comfort to me over the years and still does on a daily basis.
I'm all jacked up right now, dude.
Good.
I
That's
don't know.
that persistence that
I don't
you're
know
talking
if
about.
it's like 3 Celsiuses that's got me all fucked up, but I'm fucking jacked up right now, dude.
Yeah, that was good shit.
That I can develop this power, dude. Like, you know,
That's it. You can.
I'm working on
You
it.
are.
I'm here.
That's it.
You know,
I proclaim the now, the moment, not what you can do, but what you are doing.
blind
I
faith.
tell the men I work with, I don't want to hear all that bullshit. I want to hear what you're doing right now. You're here right now. You're seeking right now. Tell me how much you're enjoying right now. Well, they'll either say, my sponsors used to say, George, I'd go to them telling them all this crap, all these things happening and everything else, and they'd look at me and listen, and they'd ask me one question. George, have you had a drink of whiskey today? And I'd say, no. And then they'd ask, well, you got something to be grateful for. Are you grateful? So I didn't know what gratitude was. I had to learn about gratitude. Then I'd go to them sometimes, and I'd tell them all my woes, and they'd look at me and listen, and they'd ask the question, George, have you had a drink of whiskey today? And I'd say, no. And they'd ask me, are you grateful? Sometimes, and most times, I could say yes. Sometimes I'd say no. And then they'd look at me and smile and say, well, it sounds like you got something to work on. Why don't you try working on gratitude?
That's it, man. The work.
That's it.
I feel like a lot of people get here and they're afraid of fucking work. The people, to the point, they don't want to come to AA because they know there's fucking work to be done here on themselves, and they're ugly. I got here, I was ugly. You ugly when you got here? How ugly?
Well, I can only tell you what I was, I am no longer. What I will become is yet to be, but I enjoy looking in the mirror. I enjoy what I see. I tell every man I work with when they have problems about God, I tell them, go home and watch your beard grow. Well, I can't see my hair grow. Of course not, but it grows, doesn't it? You wake up in the morning with the stubble. And that's the way God worked in my life. I just woke up with the stubble every morning, and I began to believe.
Conviction.
Conviction. Second step, last word, being convinced of this power.
Right.
Now I was at the third step. But I couldn't do the third step until I became convinced of the power. And the first step taught me about honesty. So I couldn't lie about, yes, I believe. Do you really believe? Well, no, not really. Well, quit lying then.
What's the difference between believing and knowing?
Believing is the fertilizer that grows the plant.
So you had to
Turns
believe
into
first,
conviction.
but now you know.
Yeah. Proof of the pudding is in the plum. When I began to no longer have the need to run to the bar, to take that, when that compulsion to drink, which incidentally left me, for a year and a half in recovery, I wanted to drink, I wanted to drug. I fought. I'd go to the bar room, sit there, hate looking at the whiskey, wanting it so bad, but hating, knowing what it would do, and get up and leave. Nobody else would have me when I first got here. Nobody wanted me. The bar rooms did. It was the only place I could go. But when I began to walk in truth, I began to walk in understanding. I began to understand how my mental illness truly affected not only the world, but kept me in bondage. Alcohol wasn't my problem. Alcohol was just the glue that kept my problems sealed. Take away the alcohol, all my problems were still there. All of my insanities, all of my idiosyncrasies were still there.
Yeah.
And they
That's good.
hurt.
Dude, I still got them. I
And
realized
you'll always have them.
12 years and I'm still like, fuck, man, there are still some monkeys on the back.
You'll still have them. I have not had one friggin' character defect taken away from me.
I kind of like some of the monkeys, man.
Well, 3 times a day is not bad for an 88-year-old.
Yeah, there's a monkey, dude.
Don't
You
tell me
right-handed
about
or
liking
you
it.
right-handed or left-handed?
Both, ambidextrous as hell.
Damn.
But
But
for
the
real.
joy is I no longer have a need to practice my character defect.
But okay, so I got a question for you. A lot of us out there, we know what our bad qualities are. A lot of normal people and recovering people know, fuck, I'm selfish always. Am I always gonna be selfish? I know. I don't always practice selfishness. I don't always practice what's it called? Like when Scrooge, he's like super cheap. What's that shit called? You know what I mean?
Stingy?
Yeah, there's a better word
Stinginess?
for it. You know?
Miser.
Cheap?
Miser. No, I don't always practice that, but that I know that that's a deep down thing in me, right? So like, but they come out and then I deprecate, right? I'm like, I fucking hate myself. God, I drive myself nuts. How do you learn to love yourself and be proud of yourself in presence of your fucking character
Well, I
defects?
said it earlier, son. I couldn't make peace with living until I make peace with death. And I couldn't make peace with money until I truly made peace with not having any. And the truth of the matter is, today, the greatest prayer that I offer up every morning, the first thing I pray for, dear God, this day, please grant me your power to have no other God before you. God was my money, sex was my money, stealing was I love stealing.
Yeah.
It was a challenge for me. All the things. Can I lie today? In a heartbeat. Can I hate today? Yes. I still have all of those propensities, but I don't have the need to practice them.
What I admire about you and what I hope to become that you are is that you are so at peace with who you are, good and bad, and open about both sides. And I feel like so many people today, whenever we smell the bad in ourselves or in our lives, we hate ourselves, you know?
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. That's social media has a lot to do with that because it's like a front.
Well,
you know what I
what else?
mean?
I didn't even have
But
Instagram until
that's what I'm.
until this show. But like, I think like, I mean, it's just something that comes with age and also realizing that I choose to be happy today. I choose
And not
to
giving
have,
a fuck what anybody else thinks.
yeah, I choose to have fucking joy. You
Right.
know? What do you think about that, George?
Well, I'm going to. You were asking questions that God knew I was going to be here today.
Yes.
And gave me. Many are called, few are chosen. The opposite of being chosen is to choose. Thank you for being a chooser. Please allow an old man his conviction, watching, looking at, and enjoying hearing from, is in knowing one in sync with God, in sync with God's will. And I thank you for being my joy. Because of your past, present, and potential future, the good you do in our meetings, and I say this to me, pales in comparison to the joy you are gifted with being able to bring to the masses.
That's heavy shit.
Now, please, if not already, and I say this to you especially, Jeff, if not already accomplished, put all the notes, experiences, successes, failures, pain, and joy you have received from victory over, not the mental illness, but the malaise of self. on paper. The need to prove renders the joy of proving.
Oh, man.
Nothing, absolutely nothing, is wrong in being powerful. Thank you for allowing me this privilege. After all, our life is our book. So you asked me if I've written a book. Yes, I've lived life. I've lived it in all aspects. The 7-step prayer.
Yeah.
The good and the bad of me. The good and the bad of me. Not what I practice, but what I'm capable of practicing.
That's incredible.
I mean, yeah, because I feel like nobody hates me more than me. You know what I mean? Right?
Well, the opposite
But
of
at
hate
times,
is love.
yeah, of course. But you know, when you're learning, you know, like I'm learning my boundaries, and we're learning our boundaries as we go through life, and where you are now, just that growth is fucking it. To me, it's hope. I don't look at it like jealous. I look at it like, man, I'm so grateful that that's the path that I am on.
One of the joys of not analyzing is utilizing. And the beauty of all these negative emotions, don't analyze them. If I were your sponsor, I would ask you to do me one thing for a month. Every time you have one, thank God for it. Thank you, God.
Yeah, no shit.
Thank you, God.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you, God.
You are an intense dude. I love it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I want to like remember it all, but like I've damaged my brain with drug use and alcoholism. So I'm going to have to like watch this fucking podcast again.
Right now, right there, the very thing.
I know.
My brain. I damaged my brain. Thank God for the brain you got and the beauty of where
you're
you
right.
are
God,
with
thank you for the brain I got.
Yes, absolutely. My God.
As intense as it may sound, and it just because it's just like some knowledge that's just spit and we love it all. It's simple. It really is. And it goes back to living in the moment and accepting for what is and what life brings us. And I'll say this for the day I died, the joy. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, I learned that from somebody else and I could pass that to somebody else. But for me, it's to go through life and experience this. Highs, lows, difficulties. You know, I've been poor. I've been shit on, not physically, you know what I mean?
I had a trick one time that like that, but I never got into it either. No. I drew a line there.
Yeah. But, you know, life is good. You know, it really is. And
I got a question for George, though.
Yeah.
All right, George, how would you get Britney Spears sober, man?
The truth of the matter, Britney Spears is like all of us. She's human. And the complexity of her abilities is known only to God. How I would get her sober, first of all, I could not get her sober.
Ooh.
How I would encourage her to become sober is to, and I like what the book says, burn into the consciousness of every man that he can recover. There is a condition that he trust God, clean house, and help others. But in order to do that, I would encourage her, Brittany, of all the hell you've been through, and I understand, I also am convinced, which I am even to this day, that you are a survivor. And in that state, you are a winner. So please, as opposed to thinking of yourself as a loser, accept yourself as being a winner.
That's deep.
Fuck, George. Because earlier you said you bend her over. That's what you said.
Oh,
No, I mean it.
I say a lot of things.
I know. I like that
really
answer
was
too.
going to say I would really enjoy seeing this one bending her over.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
you gonna watch it?
Big time, man.
Brittany, if you're
Ask
out
a man
there,
if he loves porn, and he says no. He's done told you how big a liar he is.
Brittany,
So,
if you're out there, me and you want to make a flick, this guy will watch for free.
Yeah, we got a fan. You got the first fan.
Hell yeah.
Oh boy, come on now. The reality of life is just that we're exposed to all things. The book says anything to shield the man from alcohol is doomed to failure. You can go to North Pole and some dog would bring a bottle around his neck. Well, the truth of that is to shield anyone from the vices and ills of life is doomed to failure. They're going to experience the things they are supposed to experience in order for their lives to become their life. Some people love pornography, other people hate it. Some people love Christians, other people hate it. Pleasing the world has ceased being an objective. Pleasing myself, they say the opposite, selfishness and self-centeredness is the root of my problem. Well, I say selfishness and self-centeredness is the bane of my joy.
Ooh.
I am so selfish. I want everything God has and each of you have and everybody out there I want it. I'm willing to do what's necessary to get it. So, most times I get it through honesty. Sometimes I get it through vicarious pleasure.
Yeah.
You never hear people talk about vicarious
Yeah, that's a good
pleasure,
word.
do you?
I love that.
Yeah, vicarious pleasure. You can watch two people have a bitch fight. And sit there and almost get off on it.
Yeah. We saw a guy at the Home
Just
Depot
love the
parking
hell
lot
out of it.
today. We
Yeah.
saw a guy in the parking lot freaking out.
I wasn't getting in the truck. I was watching. I was like, whoa.
They're fascinated by it.
Yeah. Whoa, what's going on over
I
here?
want to push
Yeah.
the buttons and
Whoa, what's going on in this guy's world? He's going angry.
But the joy is, underneath it all, is simply the reality of there is one who has all, not some, power. And the big book taught me, and it says, makes the statement, may you find him now. But then turns right around and tells me where to find him. Deep down inside of every man, woman, and child is the basic fundamental belief in a power greater than themselves.
I like that, and it just made me think about like clearing the wreckage and all this stuff that we have built out, and it's like it's really getting back to the root of what we are, and that is God and creation. We're made in His image, and
Absolutely.
I believe that. And
Absolutely.
I strike that. You like that? Strike that. I know that.
All right.
And so clearing that wreckage and all that junk and all that bullshit that I've cluttered up in there over the years, I get down to the root, and I'm able to believe that and see that.
And you know what the joy is for me concerning that? When I got rid of everybody else's shit that was imposed upon me, I discovered. I'll give you an example, and I'll tell you the truth, and I don't have any reason to lie. I thought I was stupid. I'm an 8th grade dropout. Oh, no, strike that. I'm an 8th grade kick-out. They kicked me
They
out
kicked
of
you out of school?
I didn't, yeah, for being gay.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyhow, I grew up believing I was stupid. And that's why when I talk about proving, I had to prove that I wasn't stupid. And I proved I wasn't stupid. I became a financial success. I became a social success. I was traveling in the highest circles, living in the highest places, spending the highest money, and garnering the greatest misery at the same time. But the proving is that until that perfect moment, and I hear people talk about and they'll laugh about, those foxhole prayers. And to me, I am convinced, I don't know which one he answered, but I know as a drunk, in those moments of desperation, I cried out with the purest of desire. I know that. I know that I cried out, please help me to change. Please take this away. I know that. So I don't know which one of those foxhole prayers he answered, but he kept me alive. He brought me through the doors. He gave me a new teacher. He gave me a textbook to follow. He gave me friends to not fellowship with, but learn from. And in that state, learning how to become a fellow and enjoy shipping with them.
I fucking like that.
Enjoy life.
All right, we'll end it with this, George, because Tyler's got to get out of here. It's coming close.
Yes, well,
Tyler's
I'm
got
a
a
talker.
date. Tyler's got a date
I've been
tonight.
waiting
Yeah, he
half
does.
an hour, 45 minutes
So
ago,
last-
thinking, when the shit's this going to end?
Last question.
All right.
Last question.
Okay.
All right, even sobriety aside, what's one thing that you want to be remembered for?
The joy of loving. Just simply the joy of loving. If I were to call this very moment to meet my Maker, I could do so knowing and not leaving this earth hating one person for any reason. Years ago, I hated my brother, and he was the last person I hated because I learned the formula. And I went to my sponsors and I said, Perry, I pray every day not to hate him, but I do. I still hate him. And I don't want to hate him, Perry. What am I doing? Why is God not answering that? And he simply looked at me and he said, well, that's your problem right there. I said, what? Praying not to hate him? He said, yes. Why don't you pray to love him again?
Fuck.
Damn.
I love that legacy, though. That's a solid, wow.
And every time I feel I have a need to hate, I pray for love.
Well, you got it
God
right
sends
here.
it. I know that.
We got it.
Yeah.
I know that. That's why I'm so comfortable. Do you think that we could have this conversation if it were outside on the street around? Now, who sees it,
Yeah.
if anyone does, they'll do it in the privacy where nobody sees them watching it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in that state, they'll either say, yeah, or no, or boy, that's full of shit, or, all the things that go with not having. Many are called. And by virtue of the number of white chips that are passed out and the re-entries, but few are chosen.
George, we got to have you come back, dude.
Oh, wow.
I love you, George.
We're burned out, but dude,
Oh, wow.
shit-faced sober.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, George.
Yes.
The
Okay.
longest sober guy I know.
That was amazing.
And
There
just
is.
remember, if you ever feel your plate's full, it's easy as hell to pray for a bigger plate.
Oh, shit. I like that, man.
Mic
Shit-faced
drop.
sober. Thank you guys for watching, man. Follow us, share it. Appreciate you. Love you. The joy of loving. That's a good one.
Yep.
George.